It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, I love that song so much, that little intro that brings you into the fold as we begin baby talk today on your feel-good breakfast show. Now, food allergies is what we are addressing. They come in all kinds of different types. They can be mild, severe, and can even be life-threatening if not monitored. Now, the incidence of it has increased quite significantly worldwide. In fact, 50% increase in hospitalisations globally. And a recent study has showed that just in Cape Town alone, at least 2.5% of children have some sort of allergic reaction to certain foods. And it's expected that these statistics could be reflected in other areas around the country, leaving a large number of children at risk. And here to discuss how early intervention can play a role in preventing allergies is allergist Dr Sarah Karabus and co-author of Allergy, Kath. Great to have you both here. Good morning.
Good morning.
I mean, this is something that I was unaware of, the fact that there is such a high incidence and prevalence of food allergies, and especially now, between the 7th and 13th of April is World Allergy Week, so a great time for us to be addressing this topic and also referring to Allergy Sense for Families, brand new book that you've collaborated on. Give us a bit of an insight as to how this book can help parents and essentially help anyone out there suffering from food allergies.
I think the idea of this book was to kind of debunk allergies because it's quite a scary diagnosis when parents first get it. And we really wanted to give a practical guide with some lovely recipe ideas so that you don't feel when you get a diagnosis of your child having an allergy that there's nothing that you can feed them. And as well as to give some information, but in kind of very easy to understand terms, because it can be quite a minefield, allergies itself. Even for the medical profession, you know, we find it quite a thing to consider. So this book really is there as a handbook for families who have children with allergies, and also the recipes are done in such a way that even if you don't have allergies, they're good, healthy recipes and food ideas that you can feed to your family.
Yeah. Now, Sarah, as I said earlier on, about 2.5% of children have food allergies, just in Cape Town alone. If you think in the greater picture of South Africa, with over 12 million children in some 25,000 plus schools, there are a lot of children that are at risk. So how can we then help our little ones, curb the effects of allergies at schools in that kind of environment?
Yes, so this is a really concerning statistic because it means that about 1 in 40 children in South Africa currently have a food allergy. And it could be something quite mild, but it also includes children who've got severe food allergies who may have life-threatening reactions, which affects every aspect of their social interaction, affects their families. And we know that allergic diseases worldwide have been increasing over the last few decades. Such as asthma, eczema, hay fever, but it's really food allergy that has had a really big increase more recently. And it's leading to some people actually calling it the food allergy epidemic.
Wow. It's a very interesting statistical study, a new one, that shows that depriving kids of certain kinds of food or also avoiding them during pregnancy can lead to allergies. How accurate is this? Is this true?
Yeah, so we used to in the past we thought we could eliminate allergies by telling moms who were pregnant not to eat allergenic foods like peanuts, for example. But what we noticed is this actually accentuated the amount of children with peanut allergies. So now what we are saying is that early exposure, especially during the womb and during breastfeeding, via mom's diet of certain allergenic foods like your peanuts, your fish, and those type of foods, it's really important. Kind of dairy and all foods, basically. Your child needs to be exposed to them, and it's a very good idea to expose them during those phases, because the child then can build tolerance and actually manage those foods, versus them all being eliminated and suddenly being introduced to it, and then it does look like a foreign object to the body.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, there's lots for us to discuss, and we'll continue on the other side of a very short break from the conversation. But in the meantime, our lines are open, 021-430-9881. Give us a call as we chat during this World Allergy Week.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're live, large and in charge on this Thursday morning, baby talk time, and we're hanging out with Dr. Sarah Karabus, pediatric, allergist? Allergologist. There it is. Allergologist. And of course, Kath Megaw, our friend in all things baby. And of course, Allergy Sense is a new book that hopes to help families out there to make their way around the troublesome journey of allergies, especially during this World Allergy Week where we focus on it. And we've opened up our lines to you as well to give us a call and ask us your questions. 021-430-9881. We've got a caller from KZN. I am speaking to... Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Michelle Niet, and I'm calling you from Caterage in KZN.
Thanks very much for the call. What's your question or comment?
How do you narrow down an allergy on a baby? Because my daughter, she's basically, every time she eats something, eczema appears on her legs, and it's just on her legs. And then she scratches herself, and then she becomes irritable, and she cries. How do you exactly narrow down an allergy?
Okay, fantastic question. Great stuff.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think the big thing is once you open the allergy box, it's a minefield. So you've got to be very careful with food as a parent that you don't start assuming everything that your child eats causes a reaction, because then you would end up not being able to feed your child anything. So it is good to do it under the guidance of a allergy specialist.
Okay.
That's the first thing. And the second thing is keeping a food diary can be quite helpful.
Okay.
And what you might notice that you might notice a trend. For example, every time you feed your child eggs, your child has a rash developing. Then you might be able to, when you go to your allergy specialist, you'll have some information to take with.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to add.
Yeah, I think eczema is very misunderstood because many people believe that food allergy causes eczema.
Okay.
And in fact, eczema is more a genetic condition, a condition that you're born with. And most children who have eczema do not actually have a food allergy.
Okay.
So it's the children with very severe food allergy or moderate to severe eczema that's been difficult to treat. Those are the children in which we suspect that a food might be playing a role in the eczema.
Okay. I think one of the first signs I think most parents look out for in order to determine whether there's an allergy is some kind of skin reaction. Whether it is a rash or anything like that. But are there other symptoms that parents can look out for that could indicate a possible food allergy?
Well, I think it's important to understand what an allergy actually is first. And this is because allergies are vastly overdiagnosed, they're overtreated, but they're also underdiagnosed.
Okay.
Many children... An allergic reaction is always based on the immune system.
Yes.
Okay. So many children have other symptoms like food intolerances or lactose intolerances that are actually very different conditions. So it's important to understand that a food allergy is due to a reaction from the immune system.
Yeah.
And the immune system then responds to a protein in the body mistakenly and produces a whole lot of chemicals, one of which is histamine. And it's histamine that causes the actual symptoms of an allergy.
Yes.
So the things we see like runny nose, sneezing, swelling, runny tummy, vomiting, wheezing, urticaria or hives, these are all symptoms that we associate with a food allergy.
So just in closing quickly, you spoke about early intervention being a way of helping. What kind of early interventions are we looking at home that you can help your child to build up an immune system against certain food allergies?
I think just to reiterate what I said earlier, and that is include all the foods. When we talk about food allergies, include all the foods in your home, in your environment, in your diet, and unless your child is being diagnosed with a specific food allergy, only then would you look at avoidance, and even then there's a particular way that you go about it. So in the past we used to be so scared of those foods, and we used to take out all allergen foods and not introduce them. Now, children high risk of allergies, we actually want to introduce those high-risk allergen foods early on in the wean-in diet.
Absolutely. All right, ladies, thank you very, very much for joining us this morning and really educating us during this World Allergy Week. And, of course, you can follow at Kath Megaw on social media as well. I'm sure, Dr. Karabus, you're also somewhere there in the social media world. We can follow you. No, too busy working at the hospital and taking care of our little ones and making them well. But thank you very, very much.
Thank you.